Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball. Join us Friday, April 24th through Sunday, April 26th for our first homestand of the season and our 5th anniversary celebration. Score big with $5 tickets. Grab $5 domestic draft beers. Enjoy $5 popcorn. And yes, 2 Nathan's hot dogs for just $5. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Excuse me! Taxi! What are you doing?
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Hey, do me a favor. That skirmish in Brooklyn, not a skirmish, it was an arrest. Hit it, please, if you don't mind.
All right. Why are you punching him? Why are you punching him? You're so ass mother.
Oh, jeez. It is so hard to be a cop. The poor cops are trying to arrest this guy. He's fighting him every step of the way. Well, there's a very interesting proposed law that could make the job of the cops a lot easier. Giving them some space. You ever hear that expression? Give me some space? How about give the guy a break? Scott E. Munro is the president of the Detectives Endowment Association with the New York City Police Department. All-around great guy, friend of the show. Scott, I really feel for these guys who are in the middle of that melee, and the people are giving the cops such a hard time.
Yes, this is bad times. We're in bad times, Greg. When people have to respect law enforcement. When law enforcement tells them to do something, they should be doing it. And it all starts with the leadership of the city. It starts with whether you can get snowballs thrown at you, whether you can flee, whether you can run people down. It basically, that's the bottom line. Cops are assaulted every single day. There's not an assault that goes by.
Let me ask you this though. So this law that's floating around Albany, and I think you're a big supporter of it. It would provide a 25-foot buffer around police while they're performing their duties, like executing an arrest or something like that. I see a lot of potential here because I do see cops getting harassed. I do see some complications, though. This might be easier said than done. What's your view of this thing? Yeah, go ahead.
So I worked a little bit with it. It's a 25-foot law in Florida. It's called the HALO bill. So what we did was we moved it to 15-foot. So, I want this to pass. I want people to understand why we're doing it, that you would be locked up as a Class A misdemeanor, and basically the union will sue you if you do it, because they're making money on this, out there on the Internet. So basically that's what it is. We have it written in the Assembly and the Senate. We have bills, and we're rolling it out tomorrow. And I'm calling on the governor through New York State to accept this bill and sign this bill. And moving forward for all law enforcement, whether you're a state trooper, whether you are a fireman, anybody in any type of law enforcement, we added the firemen to the list too. No one should be doxxed, harassed, when they're doing their job. We have people coming from corrections. We have people coming from all over, sheriffs, rangers, park rangers through New York State. And we're going to show that we have about 500,000 votes between actives, retirees, and families. And these elections coming up in November, that we're going to make a difference in these elections, whether they're local or for the governor.
No, totally. Listen, though, let me, all right. When a cop is arresting somebody or just standing there, I notice these obnoxious people, they walk right up to the cops. They post the video online, and they'll say, "What's your badge number?" In fact, that arrest in Brooklyn, they kept on saying, "What's your badge number?" And the cops gave him the badge number. Do the cops have to do that? Is that a requirement now?
Yes. Not only that, the city council passed a bill that they're supposed to hand them a business card on top of that. No other police agency does this, only in New York City. And the bottom line is, as they have the, in other situations where a police officer is in uniform, their name's on there and their shield number's there. And now you got to hand them a business card through the city council rules. So the bottom line is no other police in New York State has that except for New York City. I mean, and that's what's happening. They are Googling people's names. They go into their homes. They're harassing police officers off duty, on duty, putting their public record out there that, what's happening on the job, whether they were guilty or not.
Let me ask you let me get back to the thing. They got to give their badge number. Can't they just say, look at it yourself? I mean, like, what would happen if a cop is being videoed and they say, what's your badge number? And the cop didn't, look, the cop needs to be the one asking the question. What?
They would get a CCRB, Civilian Complaint Review Board. They go down there, waste time and money there, and basically get a complaint.
Well, I think that when that question is asked and they answer it, their authority has been diminished. And I think that's part of the goal here, right? Doesn't it kind of, it starts to cut the cop down to size. And this is the one guy in society, quite frankly, that we have agreed we need police and they need to have authority. And the first thing that they try to do is undermine that police officer's authority. That's a dangerous thing. It's really starting to bother me because I see these videos all the time. That has got to be so terrible. All right. Anything to do about that? Probably not, huh?
Well, that's what we're doing. That's what they're not allowed to do. 15. They got to be 15 feet away. Listen, look what happened down in the subway the other day. We had two of our detectives working overtime down there, and they ended up shooting someone who stabbed three people with a machete. The bottom line is, if somebody was in their face at that time, or maybe someone gets thrown on the tracks, or maybe someone gets pushed on the tracks, or whatever have you, you're in the police officer's face. Nobody should be in the police officer's face. We're asking to be 15 feet away. That's all. 15 feet away from a police officer.
All right. Hey, it sounds reasonable to me. And by the way, this arrest that has people, I mean, look, let's face it, they fell into a bunch of liquor bottles. It's not the end of the world. I watched the arrest. Go ahead. Poor guy's out of breath.
Can't resist arrest.
He wasn't resisting arrest. He was not arrest.
So here's the weird thing about this. One of the many weird things. My understanding is these cops were working anti-crime, which means undercover. But given the crazy state of things, they're wearing some police paraphernalia because the Mamdani and even Adams, they're not comfortable with strictly undercover. Is that true?
Yeah, I believe so. Listen, you got to worry about the police officer's safety too, the detective safety out there. Other police officers don't pull up on the scene and hurt an undercover. And that's the problem. Resisting arrest is never pretty, Greg. And if people would just comply, it would all get worked out, and we would move forward there. But no police officer wants to come to work. No detective wants to come to work and hurt somebody or try to fight somebody or resist with somebody. It's not right. They took an oath to protect the people of the city of New York, the communities they live in too. So they're here to do a job, and you have to respect policing. And
every now and then, by the way, like even in the best of circumstances, mistakes are going to be made. Descriptions, that kind of thing. These people have been encouraged. And I mean encouraged. The whole damn culture, society has been encouraged to stick it to the cops. That Black Lives Matter Summer of Love 2020, it left a mark, a deep one. And the cops are dealing with it every single day. It may have made a lot of influential, powerful, rich, white people feel better about themselves to join that bandwagon, but it's the cops who are dealing with the aftermath to this day. Well, Detective Munro, good luck. We'll be watching that event tomorrow as you unveil this very, very reasonable kind of modification of the HALO law from Florida. I wish you all the luck in the world, and say hi to the cops, okay?
Thank you very much, Greg.
The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.